If there ever was a secret to golf, then it's this. You have to have a tension-free golf swing if you want a repeatable motion. So it's all well and good me just standing here and saying, look, you just got to relax. Why is tension bad for your swing? Well, we have three main reasons why tension is bad for your swing. Number one, tense muscles are slow muscles. If you're stiff, you're going to be very robotic. The other thing that's going to happen is if you are stiff, you're going to restrict how much you can turn. So then from there, you're going to give yourself less time to actually generate that speed. Number two is that when you are so tense, especially with your forearms, and you'll really find this with putting and chipping as well, not just the full swing, is that you lose complete sense of the club. You don't have that feel. Now, when you're in this situation, you're never going to be able to feel where the face is. You've got to be relaxed in order to allow that club head to release on the way down so that you can actually square that face up. And the final thing is when you are super tense, your body is going to react. One of the most common reactions that you'll see is when the body gets tense, players will then just fire over the top. They'll throw their angles out and they'll try and accelerate very, very quick. Because again, tense muscles are slow muscles. So when you're tense, you're going to try and find speed, and that usually comes in the form of sort of muscling it. So let's start off by actually talking about, okay, what are we supposed to be feeling? Because I see there are so many misconceptions out there and also pretty terrible analogies. So the first thing is we have to have a certain amount of grip pressure so that we can maintain a good sort of connection with the club. We don't want this club sort of slipping out of our hand. So to a certain degree, if we were to use sort of a out of 10 scale, I'd want your grip pressure to be somewhere about a 5. I don't want it to go too sort of light in this, especially in the fuller swings. In the short game, it can go a little bit lighter. But if you imagine, if you're in sort of the rough, as you can see behind me, if I'm gripping it super, super light, that club's just going to get twisted up and it's just going to get tangled everywhere. So the first key is to understand that it's not necessarily the grip that needs to be relaxed. The thing that needs to be relaxed is actually the arms, the forearms all the way up to the shoulders. So the easiest way to think of this, if I was just to stand tall and I was just to shake my arms out, and as I taught, just let my arms just hang, that's the tension roughly that we want to be feeling in the arms. You can see my arms are nice and relaxed. So the key is having a relatively firm grip pressure. So I would say about a 5 out of 10, somewhere in the middle range, but nice and relaxed arms. This is what's going to allow us to get that beautiful rhythm, beautiful flow to the swing. But also if we relax the arms, we're going to relax the shoulders. That's going to give you more turn as you swing back. What is a great drill to help you do this? Best drill that I know is grip the club normally. Then from there, just shake your arms out and just start to do some sort of little circles right here. Don't do it too big because again, you can sort of cheat it. Just little circles. Now, what I'm feeling here as I'm doing this is number one, my forearms have to be relaxed as I do this. If I'm doing this and my forearms are tight, I'm not going to be able to generate those smooth circles. I want to be feeling like my wrists are relaxed, my forearms are relaxed, and I can get just this nice sort of smooth circles. The second thing I'm feeling is I have to have a certain amount of grip pressure, otherwise that club is going to fall out. So I've got enough grip pressure to be able to hold the club, to be able to maintain the club up in front of me, but it's relaxed enough to where I still have some mobility in there, some freedom to rotate. So now as I work into it, I can really feel, you can see everything's nice and relaxed here. And if I make a swing from here, you'll see how the club will naturally set, down cock and release pretty much instantaneously without me having to think of it. So what do we do when we're over the ball? Now, what you'll see with a lot of amateurs, I see this every single day on the first tee just over there, is that they will stand there for about 10 seconds just completely stationary. They might look over there, but they mainly are just staying pretty stationary. And in there, I can guarantee you their brain is going 1,000 miles an hour. They're thinking of 100 swing thoughts. They're thinking of where not to hit it, don't mess up, don't embarrass yourself, all of these things. And this is one of the things that I see amateurs really struggle with. And quite often that same golfer will be right here in this bay on the driving range, hitting it down there and hitting it really well. And it's one of those where we've kind of got to get out of our way. Now, there's a couple of different ways that we can overcome this. The first way is just simply don't take that long over the ball. As soon as you get in, have one look at the target, look back down, look again, look back, and then hit. So it's basically 2 looks and a go. The second way we can think of it is that actually we want to keep moving. Well, even if you're just kind of waggling your feet right to left, just sort of waddling, or even just waggling the club, you're going to find that you're still moving. And if you're still moving, you're going to be able to get nice and relaxed. As soon as you pause and you stop all momentum, your body's going to start to tense up. So one of the things that I focus on is if I'm walking into the ball, I just keep moving. You'll see my feet right here. They keep going back and forth. I have these little wiggles, and then as soon as I'm ready to go, I'll then go into what we're going to talk about in a second, which is my swing trigger. The key is that we just don't get stationary over the ball. We want to feel like we can keep moving, especially in the full swing. Now, sort of the final segment of this section is a swing trigger. Now, this is one of the things that, again, has really helped me. One of them is the Gary Player knee kick in. I'm sure we've all seen that. And another one is just sort of a little bit of a countermeasure where we push in and out of the lead leg. So let's go through the countermeasure first, because that's sort of the first one that we see. So in this one, we'll see, again, a lot of players do this. Rory's a big advocate of this one, is they will just sort of push in and out of that lead foot. So they push into it and push out of it. And again, it's super subtle, very, very subtle movement, but it starts to swing with some momentum. It allows the body to stay relaxed. You push in, you go out, and then from there, you're able to start it. Your muscles are able to stay relaxed, because sometimes when players just get stationary, they take it back with just their arms and they're death gripping it. Very, very hard to produce an efficient motion. So if I demonstrate this one, what it's going to look like is as I swing, I'm going to push into the left foot, push out. So push in, push out, and off you go. So if I do that for you right now, push in, push out, off I go. Now here's the thing. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that swing trigger, and the reason for it is especially if you're a player like myself who struggles sometimes getting back to the left side in time, when you're pushing out, you do feel like your momentum sort of taking you a little bit further away from the target. So if you are somebody who either likes to do more of a stack and tilt method or right-sided golf method, if you're somebody who does struggle with their weight transfer, somebody who struggles with maybe a reverse pivot, not going to be the best trigger for you, which is why I actually implemented this sort of the Gary Player knee kick in. So let me demonstrate that one. Let me explain why I chose it for my swing and why you could potentially want to use this one as well. So if I set up to the ball, the Gary Player knee kick in is very similar to sort of the left foot push out, but in the sense is more of the right leg and shaft sort of kicking forwards this way. So if I set up here, I'll kick my right knee in and I'll add just a little bit of sort of forward press, and then I'll go from there. Again, works exactly the same way, gives you that momentum, gives you that sort of trigger to start the swing. From there, it's going to be a lot more fluid. Let me show you what that one looks like right here. So again, this is the one that I use in my game. And again, this has helped me massively. So you can see, I keep moving. I'm looking down at the target, back of the ball, looking down at the target. Then I'll do my trigger, right knee kick in sharply, and I'll go. So there you have it. That is how you achieve a tension-free swing. And again, see it more as a skill. This is definitely a skill that you have to develop. So I know it's easier said than done, but by using these tricks, you're going to find that it's going to really, really help you. Now, if you need a little bit more one-to-one help with your game, I offer online coaching on the Skillist platform. So please check that out. I'll leave the link down below. But hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a like and subscribe. And I hope to see you back here soon.